Hello everybody, my name's Miriam Divine and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to do a tarot reading with Mother Hecate. So we're on this new moon, you know, you don't have to watch this directly on the new moon, but we're in the new moon. I think there's a solar eclipse. I think there's meteor showers over here in the East Coast. There's a lot of stuff going on. And we're going to use, of course, my deck that I've been using with Hecate for the last 8 years. We're going to go ahead and use that deck to draw with. We may or may not use another one. And I'm going to light this most wonderful incense rope that I picked up out in California. That is, I really like these. These are really nice. And, of course, they come straight, but I'll curl it up over here so it stays out of the way here. And we're just going to set it right over here on this little piece of bark to incense. I'm going to use that to cleanse the space a little bit. So everybody take a big deep breath. Whew, okay. Let's let it out. Okay. So, where to start? I guess we're going to start with this card here. Because this is probably the first one I drew. This is the Medea card that I drew back around the full moon during a shamanic journey. And it's kind of been set the stage for magical stuff since the full moon. And I mean, it's just kind of like an overall vibe. It's like either get back to your, for me, it's like a get back to my magic card. Because I've been kind of falling off recently with having too much stuff happening, too much things. This will, I've just been starting to get back into more of my magic stuff. Like, I've been doing, of course, you know, Hecate's offering now every new moon for the last 8 years. But they're kind of going away. Kind of like, I don't know, kind of just like kind of slacking a little bit on my end. Well, I drew these cards before I went to bed last night. And, you know, they actually, I drew from here. And they just kind of flopped out as I was shuffling. Because I knew Hecate had a message for me. I lit my candles and everything. I've been lighting candles also for 8 years. And this whole Knight of Cups is, you've been in this kind of emotional set, this emotional space that's kind of been dominating, and it's time to get out of that space. It's time to leave the emotional space away. Whatever it is, whether it's something more immediate or not. For me, it was definitely, I've been in this kind of weird, emotional, you know, falling apart kind of thing. And I've been thinking about too many things emotionally and crying and all that kind of stuff. And this is kind of get away from that. And she says, get back to ritual. Just do it. It doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter what you're thinking about. Stop thinking. Just act. You know, it's just an action into ritual. And get back to your ritualistic roots. You know, and for you, this could mean anything. I know this was very personal to me when I drew these cards. But because you're watching this video, it highly believes that it's probably for you as well as me. And of course, like I said, we're going to draw from this deck right here. This is my Hecate deck that I've literally used for her only and exclusively for a very, very long time. And yeah, so let's go ahead and draw some cards here. So I pre-shuffle and cleanse all my cards, but we're going to go ahead and shuffle and cleanse them a little bit more. So, you know, I'm going to actually release anything in these, cleanse them out so we have an open space. Hecate, give us a message. Okay, wow, she gave us a lot real fast. So she's given us a lot of stuff, right? And this one's slightly separate from the others. So, and this Nine of Wands, you know how she's kind of staring at her magic, right? She's kind of really focusing in. Well, this is, in reverse, it's a defocus. There's specific practices that you can do, but they're not as important for whatever it is you're doing. Whether it be for, this is this kind of very magical, ritualistic kind of real feel. This is very much directed right into your magic. So I'm not gonna, this is not about your relationships. This is about your magical practices, I feel. And with this card and these cards and this card and this whole setup, this is, there's very specific things, but they're not as important as the overall practices, as doing, just little bits here and there, actually, being really tight and on your ritual, making everything perfect is not as important as just doing it, right? And in fact, if you do start focusing in on the little details, like, oh, I got to specifically stir my tea 5 times and 5 splashes of, cinnamon and, and 2 ounces of cacao and whatever for that ritual in the morning for your ritual brew that you drink, if you're saying, no, that's not as important. In fact, that kind of stuff's going to trap you. It's going to trip you up at the knees. You need to step aside from that. And this is kind of separate from this message. And yeah, so it's not time to get specific. It's time to get more generic in your practices. Maybe more practices. Maybe just be a little bit more sloppy in them. I don't know. Because magic is not science. It's not, math. It's not, do it exactly this way. And, it can be do it exactly this way and get exactly this result. But it's more of a fuzzy logic. It's more of a, you can do a generality of all this, which generality equals all of this. Because it's not Harry Potter stuff. I hate to say it. So, and then we got these other ones. The Queen of Swords. The King of Swords. The Page of Swords. Okay. This is all about something mental, for sure, right? With all these swords cards, they're all over the place, right? And I'm getting from this, like, it kind of goes with this about generality, but this is about thinking. It's about the way you think. You're not at the top of the game with the king. You're not at the bottom of the game with the page. It's not about messages. Sure, you're going to get messages. It's not about, being in your super divine setup with the king. There's this Queen of Swords, which is all about reflection. It's all about intuition and inner feeling and inner whatever. It's slightly different than, emotional intuition. There's a lot of times you can, you emotionally get this and you feel something, right? This is where it's mental intuition. You will get messages. You will get information, but it's not going to come at you, say, I don't know, say a dog barks and that triggers something and then you get this message that flops in your brain, right? It's not about that. It's not about direct divine, Hecate is going to step in and go bam and smash it in your brain. It's about meditation, reflection, and into your meditations where your magic itself, the messages, the information, whatever it is, I think it's more about information. It's through meditation and things. It'll just come in. And you don't even have to be like a direct message. It will be a very, it will just happen to you. It's not like it's like this bird. It's just going to happen. It's not going to, this is really hard to say. It's not going to, it's like I keep saying, it's not a direct contact. It's not a direct thing. It's very indirect information. It's like, it's information that is like in your subconscious mind, and it will just be there. And you don't even need to know what that information is. It will just be there and do the right thing for you, for your magic. I don't know if that makes sense or not. It could kind of make sense to me. I kind of view, especially for my personality type, and not everybody thinks like this, but I'm to the point in my life where I'm like a spider in her web. I sit in the center of my web, and when I need information, I tap a string and it goes out, and the fly that's out there or whatever lands in the string or whatever, and that information eventually just kind of floats down the line back to me. It's kind of the same feel. It's almost like the information's just there. It's like a cloud feel. It's just there, and you just know it. and you don't even have to know any specifics about it, but it's going to work. And same with your magic. Your magic is similar to that too, but this is more about mental stuff. And the magic card is very similar to that, about how your magic works, about defocus. This is very interesting. It's about defocus and yet get back to your rituals, is what she's saying. So act, do things. You know, if you need to go out and dance because your mind or whatever the information says go dance in front around a fire, do it. It doesn't have to be specifically for any reason. Just do it. You know, you can light your incense for whatever reason. It doesn't have to be to cleanse your house. You can sage or, you know, mugwort. You know, this is one of the cooler, a pure mugwort stick, smudge. But you can just do it. And it's not a perfect thing. It's a very fuzzy feel for this reading. Hecate, you got any more messages? There's a yes, definitely. Draw some more. Hecate, give us more guidance. Do we need more guidance on any of this? This weird information feel? No, yes, maybe. I don't know. She's not being clear with that. So let's draw something else. Hecate, give us more messages. Maybe for some kind of, you know, results of any of this. How about that? How about the results of all this magical weirdness that you're having us? Okay. The Chariot, right? Movement. Something big is moving, right? There's a really big movement happening in your life. Magically. This is about magic. So there's no really big magical movement, right? See the magic blowing around on this card? You know, it's not just, you know, movement. Like this is like, yeah, wow. Your magic is ready for an upgrade. And it's going to upgrade by stepping back from it, but yet still just doing it. But it's not specifics. That's interesting. What is this movement? Hecate, can you tell us what this movement is? What is this big magical movement coming? And all of ours and mine, my viewers, and the people who found this video, what is this movement coming? What is this magical feel? She says, shut up. Just draw the card. Spin the cards and stop thinking about it. Stop asking the question. Interesting. Everybody blank your brains. There it is. Okay. That's the movement. And you're not going to see it as easily as you'd like to see it. See how it came out upside down? Blank. So whatever this movement is, you may not see it coming. You may not even understand why it's coming. And in fact, you probably won't, because it's just a step back. But we're going to get a little glimpse, and maybe we'll know when the movement happens. Is that what it is? Okay. So the Ten of Pentacles, like earthbound abundance from this magic. Your magic, I feel it's like a manifestation magic, but it's going to be this earthbound abundance of something. And wow. Yeah, whoa. That one kind of like waved over me. Yeah. It's not just in, you know, finances. It's actually in like friendship, family. It's like a lot of things in your life. You know, if you've been kind of off or kind of feeling in lack or something, there's earthbound abundance coming from this movement. And the Six of Swords. And it's definitely a movement. And see how it's being led by messages? See how she's being led? I'm getting it's not gonna be all rainbows and unicorns. But you're being divinely guided, spiritually guided. Not divinely, spiritually guided. Divine and spiritual guidance is different. You're being spiritually guided. Right? By 3. And there's going to be 3 distractions. And there will be distractions. But they're so far off, you're not going to pay attention. You're just going to close your eyes. And you're going to let the divine guidance guide you. And it's bringing you into this abundance. And this is And this is kind of the result. Not only is this movement going to lead you to abundance and material in this life, but it's going to lead you to an abundance in divine messages and guidance and information that's just going to pull you to the right direction. Do we have anything else for this? Wow. This is probably one of the most, when I was setting up my table, right? Hecate kind of said, this. She literally said, put my athame out here, right? And unsheath it and let the blade be bare is what I got a feeling to do. And this is all about cutting into reality, this is a very cutting, deep message about slicing open all these ties and cords and things that are kind of all around, and it's getting blown away into this magical step of your life, of my life, of wow. Okay. Anything else? Okay. This card is nothing to do with us whatsoever. It has nothing to do with me, has nothing to do with you. This card is for Hecate and Hecate alone. And I do readings just for Hecate. She says kind of put these off to the side, because this is all us, by the way. This is our cards here, right? This is our movement. This is where we're leading to. This is what we have to kind of do. This is actually a really good message, but this is for Hecate alone. So everyone close your eyes, by the way. This is a close your eyes kind of drawing for Hecate. She says draw it, and she actually says spread them and just pull one from the middle. Okay. Is it this one? Okay, it's this one. Mother Hecate, this is your card. It's for you and you alone, and you want me to interpret the message, you want to interpret it. She said I can go ahead and interpret it for her. It's time for Hecate to come out of her hermit mode. She's been kind of hiding recently. She's been big thinking. She's been working behind the scenes. She's been doing stuff for herself. It's time for her to step out of this liminal space and get to work. Hecate, is that okay? Yeah. Yeah. And she says, get my ass in gear is what you're saying. Yes, Hecate. It's time to get your butt in gear. Yep. Okay. Anything else? Okay, should I flip that one back over? Because the hidden message is for Hecate. Okay, for those of you who've seen the glimpse of Hecate's message, that's what she needs to do. So if you're a Hecatean and you follow Hecate or whatever, she's going to get her butt in gear, and you're probably going to get a little bit of that. So that's all I can tell you. Anything else? No. Okay. If you like my videos, and if you want to see more tarot readings, I haven't done a few of these in a while. I used to do a pile of them, but I kind of slowed down to do some like shamanic journeys and stuff. But if you want to see more tarot readings, let me know in the comments below. I'll certainly do more tarot readings. If you want to see more shamanic journeys, let me know. I know I have to do some more with Inanna and Hecate and all that kind of stuff. That's where we're at. So I love you all. Please like, subscribe, help my channel grow, help the community grow, help Mother Hecate grow, right? Help her get out of that hermit mode. I love you all. Have a very wonderful rest of your day, and let your next cycle be wonderful. Bye, everybody.